That's because South Africa is one of the most accomplished teams on the midfield, and the speed comes from Stephen White. Now here's Uruguay. The referee is Akahisa Aso, from who will be one of the stars in this match, if not the tournament. Started here last year as he led them to victory. Cecil Africa, International Rugby Board, judged his form last year as good enough to make him their player of the year. So a rare appearance on the International Rugby Board's HSBC Sevens World Series for Uruguay against a high-ranking South Africa. And you'll see some of their leading players on the World Tour in this fixture. And there's our first look at Cecil Africa. The number 2 for the South Africans is Johannes Prinsloo, known universally as Boom, which is a kind of a reflection on the way he plays the game.
Direct, and that's going to be a key. As we've been talking about, a slightly narrower pitch here, so the direct play, patient play from South Africa, but not finding any holes at the moment in the Uruguayan defense.
They're a big defensive team, Uruguay. They tackled vigorously. They were 4th in the very competitive Pan American Games competition, which Canada won from USA, and Argentina took the bronze medal in Guadalajara, Mexico last year. Kyle Brown is the South African captain, running it wide. There is Africa, and now it's out to Cornel Hendricks. Look at the speed with which they move the ball beautifully. Big, long, swinging passes. And in rugby, it's an old adage that the speed of the ball always beats the speed of any man.
It does, and especially when the legs get tired, the duration of the sevens tournament. They've created a hint of an overlap. Good inside pass.
And that's Branco de Pria to Cecil Africa, and you saw in a flash there what these two brilliant young players in the midfield, the look-alike players, the quick-alike players, bring to the Springbok effort. Try for Cecil Africa.
Well, no stranger to scoring tries, and he got the reward, but it was Dupria who saw the Uruguayan defense was stretched inside. Good ruck ball here. There was the overlap, and as such, the Uruguayan defender was out of shape. You see number 5 not able to, Berchesi not able to keep his shape, and the inside ball too much for the Uruguayan cover.
Well, we look at the makeup of the Springbok team, and we see Branco de Pria here, just a real little guy, about less than 70 kilograms, and then Cecil Africa, 70 kilograms, and yet this is a rugby game made for the big men and big muscle, but it's a beautiful game for kids of all shapes and sizes.
Isn't it? If you haven't watched much sevens rugby before, he's a great man to start with, because it's so exciting. You never know what's going to happen, and he's even doing the kickoffs here. The restart so important in the sevens game.
7-0, South Africa lead. Now, they are the defending champions here in Las Vegas, but they haven't really had a very successful tour so far here in the 2011-12 series. Haven't won out of the first 4 tournaments. Running with the ball now is Agustín Ormaechea for Uruguay. And back goes number 5, Berchesi. And here's them with some nice aggressive play and keeping control nicely. They have it with Hernán Pintos.
Oh.
A bit wayward on the pass. It connects to Brown, the South African captain. Here they come again. Looming hard. Oh, over goes Prinsloo. And that's the ball spilled forward. And Big Boom is up early. But that was rather an unsightly tumble.
It was, and I think it was Federico Favaro who was actually out of play, so was really coming from a blind position. He comes in low. He tries to wrap his arms. I think we'll give him credit. It's just that he was completely unsighted, and Boom couldn't see it coming. And actually, it's Favaro who's got the worst of this, the shoulder. He's well off the play, a waiver on the sideline, and he came back in. I think the South Africans thought they had a 3-man overlap, which was quickly snuffed out. You see him coming right from his blind side. There's no way he could get the ball.
Federico Favaro, who's here last year from the old Christians club in Montevideo. And this is, we know this, Gareth, from the joy we've had of following this game. It's actually Rodrigo Martínez who took the thump there. It's a game of explosion and collision, isn't it? And so these things happen. No pads, no helmets in this game.
This crowd here in Las Vegas used to helmets and pads, but not the case. And you saw him actually sort of apologize. He knew it was a big hit, but it was fair, I think.
And Albanell is number 4
Keith, I noticed good pressure defense from the South Africans, taking the space away. Uruguay really having nowhere to play. They're turning defense into attack.
Yeah. Okay.
This is Kyle Brown with the ball. He's the South African captain, has been so for a number of seasons now. Let's see what they cook up from this set play. 2:45 to play in the first half. There they are, great combinations with Frankie Horn. They're bursting on a pass, which looks like it was going between Africa and Dupree. But the Uruguay defense was good on that occasion.
The Uruguayans almost stole it. South Africa had to commit extra defenders. Good counter-rucking from the Uruguayans.
Dupree. Here's the first look at Stephen Hunt. He's very quick out on the right wing side, but good defense again. Number 7 working hard is Favaro.
Hands in the ruck.
Referee saying there, hands in the ruck. The ruck is formed with bodies over the ball. You must leave it.
Time off.
A little bit of a break here. There's a sub.
It's okay.
Brown will come over to set up the set-piece move.
Now they'll have a different combination here between the two great midfielders. Here they go. They leave out Africa again. Lovely set move. And Hendricks, Cornel Hendricks scores.
Well, Keith, you watch the movement here. They're actually stacked too deep. They did it on the previous move. But Hendricks is in the back line. So as a defender, as a Uruguayan, you don't know who to mark. And you see it goes wide, and he comes in from a deep position and finds the hole. Good execution of a basic, simple play they've worked for hours on the training pitch.
He's one of the newer members to the squad, Cornel Hendricks. Very big and very well set up 7 scene in South Africa with a new state-of-the-art training centre in Stellenbosch, which for many years was the home of Danny Craven and the great South African rugby story. And now it's a state-of-the-art training centre for 7s and 3 dozen contracted 7s players in South Africa as they look towards 2016. Seconds remaining in the first half as Cecil Africa kicks off. If you're watching around the world, it's a beautiful name, isn't it, for a man from South Africa to have. And there he is with the ball again to Hendricks, who's just scored the try. Tenacious defence again by Uruguay, and in particular Martínez, who's had a good first half. And number 5 is Berchesi. Now, will they try a set move? They've gone for the tap and go. Very good handling by South Africa in this first half. Fast and wide and slick. And referee says fine there. It's a good take through by Zanoniani.
Well, saying the tackler didn't release the South African player on the ground. A couple of harsh calls against Uruguay.
So here they go into the set play position. This is where you say, are they going left, right, missed passes? Who gets to be the attacking force? It could be a try run in here. Let's see what they've cooked up. A switch to Africa. Beautiful handling. In pass. That is lovely play. What a slick outfit they look. Last year's winners here in Vegas.
Coach Paul True will be delighted with that. You could see again trying to manipulate those defenders in the blue jerseys. He had so many options, and in the end it was the inside pass again. Simple skills, well executed, and there's nothing Uruguay can do. There's so much space to cover, and Cecil Africa knowing exactly the line to run where the cover could not get across from Uruguay. Simple stuff. It's like anything, Keith, when you're doing something well at the top world-class level. It looks so simple, but there's hours to make this happen, and it's what they're doing with the ball, with their shoulders, to force those Uruguayans to step out of a good defensive position.
Branco Dupree takes over the kicking and lands the conversion for a 21-0 lead to South Africa.